Good evening, CFT Nation. We are here with a live pop-up. We've got some information to share. We're a little upset. So Wendy, how you feeling about this little pop-up we're going to do here?
Well, I'm feeling better now that I adjusted my shirt.
Yeah.
It's like slumping. No, I'm not happy that I have to be here tonight.
No, I'm downright pissed.
Yeah.
How about that? We aren't in our normal routine. We don't have anything prepared.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to wing this one. So if we don't come across as polished as we normally are, and I say that in jest,
right.
Forgive us, because we are giving you information in real time, and we want to address the superintendent's memos that he likes to put out in the 5th hour. We want to address his lies because he's a liar.
He's a liar.
And we want to walk you through what actually happened.
Yeah.
And then we want to tell you we're going to have a press conference next week, and we're going to expose a whole bunch I can't even talk today. We're going to expose more of his lies in the press conference. We've received more FOIAs back. We've received more information, and we have the information directly that shows not only did he lie in the media, not only did he lie in his memos, but he continues to lie day in and day out.
Yep, he sure does. Unfortunately, that's what we're dealing with. But luckily we have the podcast. We have a way to discuss this with our members. So here we are tonight. We were here last night working on this on their behalf. And so let's start by kind of going through what happened last night.
Okay. So as you know, we were here to bargain the secretaries only. Secretaries haven't been to the table since September 18th was the last meeting. And your group demanded that we get back to the table with the secretaries because it's not fair that they haven't had their shot. So it was our turn to give a proposal.
And the cycle that we're on, it's all his idea. This isn't something that like we came up with. When we have asked to do things a little faster, what was the response?
Not interested.
Not interested. And it wasn't even just not interested. It was just no.
Right. So he wanted to slow the process down. Now he wants to speed the process up. Everything's on his terms, and you're not in control. You're not in control of this. The union members are in control. The teachers, the secretaries, and the service workers, they're in control of their destiny. You are not. You're not going to send a memo out and intimidate our members to vote for some bullshit. And that's what this is. This is bullshit.
Yep.
So let's talk through what actually happened. So as you know, we have exposed huge, massive payroll checks, 142,000, 132,000, 117,000, 90,000, 87,000. I don't know all the numbers, and I'm just kind of
thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars
to the tune of right at $1 million in additional money to the assistant superintendent, Arnett Harvey, while his wife is the chief financial officer of the school district. So their household is benefiting to the tune of $1 million. So we've exposed that. Mm-hmm. So when we came into the meeting last night, we told the district, we need answers. We need answers on the financial package, because in order
I actually started.
Go ahead. You start.
Okay, because and this is important because, and again, it's how our members are treated, Ray, versus how the protected and the truly greedy are protected in the district. So people that are in the retirement pipeline already, they entered a contract with the district to get 6% raises every year.
Yes, they did.
The contract language is clear, and they have not been paid all year. So they do the work every single day, and they have not been getting what was agreed upon in the last contract cycle. It is legit. It's the money the district owes them for their work and their service. We have, as a bargaining team, brought it up at the last session, which was a couple weeks ago, and at the session before that. And each time we get answers from the superintendent that are non-answers, Nobody else in any other profession would be allowed to get away with this stuff. But he says things like, well, I'm looking into it. In the last meeting, I think I told the audience, he said, he asked me for a list of the names of the people in the retirement pipeline. So we got another kind of, I don't even remember his answer, but it was something.
It was, I'll look into it. I'll look into it. And you said to him, that's what you said at the last meeting. And that's what you said at the meeting before. And that's what you said at the meeting before that. So when are you going to take action? Here's why he gives you those answers, because he's incompetent. He is incompetent as an administrator. He's incompetent as a superintendent, because all he's worried about is himself and taking money from the taxpayers of Cahokia. That's where he's really good. He's not competent at being the superintendent.
Nope.
So you brought that up.
Yes.
Of course, no answer, nothing today, no response, because he was working on this bullshit.
Yeah. We also, because it was important to Mr. Murphy, our high school VP, he has been trying to get full pay for CTE teachers because, again, the district wanted to cheat them out of 10% of their pay. And so some of them haven't been paid in full. So we had tried to address that again.
For months.
Yes. And again, it was a unilateral decision. So, but then it was your turn. You started talking about information.
So I started talking about the finances, because in order for us as a bargaining team to do our job, to get our membership the best contract we can get, we have a right to information. We have a right to financial information from the district that's public. Now, this superintendent doesn't believe it's public because he's using, and they're using, the district for their own purposes, like paying Arnett Harvey millions and millions of dollars over who knows what time frame, because we know they've done it for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
I asked for information from 19 to 23 that they didn't give us. So I started on Harvey, and I said, in order for us to move forward, we need answers on Harvey. Superintendent's first response was, that was before my time. I said, no. It wasn't before your time, because the last check that was paid to him to the tune of $142,000 was December of 25. Last time I checked, you were the superintendent in December of 25. So what is that check for? And why is 90,000 of it going to other? What is other? Who is other?
And he was so uncomfortable. And he wanted to keep saying it was before my time. That was before I was superintendent. And you did not let up on that. You just kept firing away the questions because he was superintendent. Like, to not know that you're paying this kind of money out, that's.
The next FOIA I asked him about, I asked for the specific routing numbers and check numbers that they paid to him. I went through a few of them, to which the attorney said, is the superintendent supposed to know every check that the district says? I said, no, but he's supposed to know the specific checks that I sent and asked for the information. He's supposed to give me that information. So then the attorney said, well, we're not sure. We're looking into what they paid Harvey for, because the superintendent has said in the paper, in the media, on record, that they're buying him out of his contract. And I said, no. You can't buy somebody out of a contract that you're paying them in full for the contract every 2 weeks. He's getting regular payroll every 2 weeks through June to the end of his contract. That's not buying somebody out.
Mm-mm.
So then he said, on record, well, we're paying him for his vacation days. Well, I have all the contracts going back to 2019. And guess what? Vacation doesn't roll over for Mr. Harvey. Vacation either goes away. In his last contract, it converted to sick. So that's not a plausible answer. So what are you paying Arnett Harvey for? What answer? Kept saying, before my time, I don't know. So at some point I said, we need answers before we can move forward. So then we moved on to another one of our favorite subjects of the Cahokia heist issue, and that's Stephanie Bell.
Mm-hmm.
And I questioned and said, another thing that we're dealing with in this contract is you're not providing anything for health insurance for our members. Not a single thing. You're not asking, we've asked for extra money to be paid. Health insurance costs are going up because of this nonsense that you're making everyone go to a doctor and get a statement, which is going to raise costs. So we need to know what all of these Medicare supplement payments are for. And I threw them across the table. We have them. I threw them across the table at him and I said, tell me why you did this. We know you did it. Why won't you give me the information? Why won't you provide me with the documents I know you have, that I know you collected, that I know you paid for years? On top of that, you paid Minnie Taylor as an employee when she wasn't even coming to work. And you knew that. So why aren't you giving me the documents? That was before my time. I said, oh, no. This one right here is dated 7/15 of 25. I think you were the superintendent 7/15 of 25, weren't you? So to make a long story short, the attorney and I started getting into it. And his response was, just because we gave Harvey $900,000 or $1 million, whatever you say it is, doesn't mean we're giving that to you.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean there's money for you. Doesn't mean you're going to get that. And so what? So what? Even if we gave Minnie Taylor extra money, she saved the district money because we could have been paying full health insurance on us. She saved us money. That's what we're dealing with. That's the stuff we're dealing with. So we ended there because we made our point. We made the superintendent look dumb. Yeah. He can't answer a single question. Never, ever. He thinks he's above the law. He thinks he doesn't have to be accountable to anyone.
Doesn't have to answer FOIAs. I mean, the Freedom of Information Act.
So
He doesn't answer them.
Here's a little news clip, Superintendent McCall. The FOIAs that you refuse to answer, we sent them to the Attorney General last night. We sent them to the public access counselor to force you to give the information up. So you're going to give the information up one way or another. You're going to give it up one way or another.
Yep.
So
it's coming out.
Yeah, the truth is coming out, period. I know you don't want it to come out. It's coming out. So that was all before we even started talking about bargaining.
Yeah, that was the prelude to bargaining.
I need a drink. I wish this was something stronger than water.
I should say it's water. We are at a union hall. You couldn't have
I know.
Okay.
It's water.
Yeah.
I gotta go to a kid's sporting event that I'm missing, by the way, McCall. I'm missing my kid's senior first sports game of the year because of your nonsense.
He doesn't care about anybody but himself. If he doesn't care about the kids of Cahokia that he's charged with caring for, he doesn't care about your kid, right?
Yeah, no, I get it. And I don't know why I even said that.
No, but
Just
it's true.
Makes me mad.
It makes me mad too.
All right. So it was our turn to give a proposal for the
Michelle Schwab. Love the non-scripted beast mode. I do too.
Yeah. I'm not sure I do, but it's okay. It's going to be what it's going to be.
I saw it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's good. I saw it too, but I chuckled inside a little bit.
Yeah.
So we get to bargaining. It was our turn, as you know, with the secretaries, as we said earlier, to give a proposal. So we spent a lot of time preparing because it's been 6 months since we bargained with the secretaries and we couldn't even remember what the proposal was.
But when we saw it, we remembered it was bad.
Yeah.
I mean, instantly it was bad.
Yeah, it's
His nonsense.
Yeah. So I handed to them. Oh, and by the way, the only part of their team that showed up was McCall and the attorney.
Oh, no, that's not the only one.
Oh, yeah. Kevin Wiggins showed up and he ended up walking inside of our building. I guess he's security or something for the superintendent now.
Yeah. So for people watching, we always, when we're at the IFT, the district is in one room and then the union takes another room and we set up so that we can caucus and go back and forth. And when we went back after the first session, Kevin Wiggins is in the room that we usually meet in as a team.
Yeah.
It's very odd.
Yeah. And to which I pretty much told him he had to leave.
It was very weird. And then he stayed right outside the door in his car until it was time to go. He just sat outside.
Yeah. All right. So we prepared this proposal, put a lot of work into it. time into it, being thoughtful, bargaining in good faith, you know, and I go to present the proposal because I'm the chief spokesperson for your team. You and I kind of share those duties. And the attorney cut me off and said, just give us the things you agree to. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it was very weird.
Okay, no problem. So we TA'd a few things in our proposal. Nothing earth shattering, just a few things to try and narrow the scope of stuff.
Mm-hmm. We made a little bit of movement.
So I was under the impression that we were going to go back to our caucus room. They were going to talk, and then they were going to give us maybe a counter. I mean, they hadn't even looked at our proposal, hadn't even looked at it.
Their attorney said, that's fine, we'll take all that.
Yeah. And then he says, we have a proposal for you, for the secretaries, and hands us all the proposal and basically says, it's a package deal, accept it. If you don't accept it in all, then we go back to our original proposal. And here's what it is. We're withdrawing all the language items on the table. And we're going to give you a 4% on base plus a step. Oh, and by the way, we also have this proposal that we prepared for the service workers, and it's basically the same thing. You know, so do you need some time to talk about it? So
yeah, a minute.
just a minute. We'll be back. So we leave the room and we're talking about the proposal and proposal. They want us to take it to our members for a vote. We don't think this is anywhere near good enough when Arnett Harvey has made $1 million off the backs of community members. When he's no, let me say that different. When Arnett Harvey has taken $1 million from children, from the most impoverished children in our area, right? The students that need it the most, right? They could use that money for extracurriculars. They could use that money for libraries, librarians. They could use that money for social workers. They could use that money for math teachers to replace the 80 teachers that are substitutes. They can use that money in many, many, many different ways. But he's greedy, he's connected, and he took it. He took it from the community.
Yeah, he took it.
$1 million. So we don't believe this is a good offer like he says in here. We're going to go through these two documents in a minute. But I want to share the background, how we got to these documents before we start talking about these documents. Yeah. So we talk about it as a team, right? We, from the beginning, have said we're one unit. Teachers, secretaries, service workers. McCall wants to split us up.
Yep, he's tried for 7 months.
For 7 months. So what did we do? You're right. We are 3 separate units by law, even though we've operated for 50 years or 20 years, whatever, 25 as one. We filed a petition to combine all 3 units, right?
Yeah.
So we're doing it the legal way. Unlike what you do, we're doing things the legal way. So we filed a petition. The petition's in the process. So in our mind, we're one unit. BAM was there, service worker president. BAM said, we're together. We're all one unit. We stand together. We had Stephanie on the phone. She had a function with her kid last night. Same thing. We're with you. We stand together. So our bargaining team that represents you as membership, that's your leaders, that's led by this leader, came up with a plan. And the plan was to go back in and say, these are okay, but here's our counter proposal. You do the same thing for the teachers that you're doing here, because we're all one unit. If the service workers get it, the secretaries get it, the teachers should too. Take everything off the table, language-wise, but the raise isn't good enough. The raise isn't good enough for all 3, because Harvey's made $900,000, almost $1 million. Minnie Taylor has been paid to not show up to work and received her Medicare supplement, paid by taxpayer money. So not only do we want our salary increase on step, 5% on step, and we were willing in a proposal to go to 4% on step for 4 years for all three groups. And you got to add money to health insurance because you guys have caused health insurance to go up. Health insurance is going to go up. And we need you to put more money in health insurance because you got it for Minnie Taylor. You have the money for her, and you had the money for her for years to do it. So that's what we need. So we got into a big argument.
Well, and the thing is, it wasn't easy to even come up with that plan. We've been jerked around for months, okay, by this guy. And way back in the beginning, we knew as a team that something that's very, very important to all of us is that our schools have staff. Like that has to be part of this. No matter what happens, we have to have a competitive salary where we can get people in these rooms. Our children deserve that. That should be what he wants. He should want teachers more than he wants Arnett Harvey, who doesn't even come to work and makes an extra $1 million. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I didn't feel bad about going in there and saying, you need to treat us all like we're part of the same union, and we need more health insurance, and we need competitive pay for everybody.
And we even outlined what the what our proposal on sale, 4% on sale does compared to 4% on the base, right? Mm-hmm. We talked about that.
And we don't want people to be fooled by the 4% thing. Like the 4%, it's not that it's just you get that a first year person gets 4%. When you trickle it down, it's not 4% for everybody.
Right.
So it sounds a little better, quite a bit better than what it is.
So the attorney and I went back and forth in an argumentative way about this isn't the teacher's turn. I said, this isn't the service workers or the service workers' turn. We're here for the secretaries. But you've inserted the service workers into the secretary bargaining. So now we're inserting in a sidebar, because it was just Wendy and I, in a sidebar, the teachers, because we believe we're all one group and we're sticking together. So that's where we came to the proposal. They were adamant that this wasn't about the teachers, that this was for these two groups. He's trying to divide you. He is trying to divide you with his antics. So
it was a lot of movement. I will say that. Like we have applied a lot of pressure to him, and he's moving. So that was a good sign, I think.
He is moving. He is moving. I guess when you're in the paper for lying constantly, when you're on the news for giving an assistant superintendent $900,000, which is now right at $1 million.
When everybody's talking about you in a bad way, making fun of you on social media.
Oh God, yeah. It's outright.
Yes.
You know, and let me just say this. I pride myself on having integrity, right? It's one of the things that if you attack my integrity, we're going to fight. We're going to fight verbally. I'm going to do everything I can to prove you wrong. If somebody, like I stood at that board meeting, if somebody did that to me and there was nothing, as he said, illegal going on in the district, my teeth would come out and I would start clawing and I would turn over every document. I would show everything to prove I wasn't doing anything wrong.
He would if he could, but right, he's doing stuff wrong.
Yeah, exactly. And that's my point.
Yeah.
That is my point.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Oh, I wouldn't have it, yeah. But I wouldn't do the dumb stuff that he's done to get in this mess.
No. So we're like, fine, whatever. So we go back and we talk through with our own group, our bargaining team. We talk through, what are we going to do? Look, he thinks you're dumb, secretaries and service workers. He thinks he can bully you. He thinks he can make you take this by sending a memo out. So we're like, you know what? Our people are smarter than what you're giving them credit for. And they're going to see through this nonsense. They're going to see through the fact that you just want to give everyone that sits up at that table more money. You want to give Harvey more. You want to give your wife more. You want to give your family more. You want to give your political friends more. And our people see through it. So we're like, you know what? Here's the deal we got for you. We'll take this back to our membership. But you don't send a memo out. You don't send a single memo out intimidating our people because you've done it before and it's illegal. And we knew he was going to do it again. And what was the agreement we had with little shifty Superintendent McCall?
His lawyer helped iron it out.
Uh-huh.
And we were told they would agree to that he wouldn't direct deal. He would agree not to break the law this time because he breaks it every time. But he would agree this time to follow what's fair rules for everybody in every other bargaining situation. This time he would play fairly, but we couldn't do a podcast.
And what did I say to that? Well, I'll say what I said because you weren't there.
Yeah,
I said I'll agree not to do a podcast about the contract, but I'm doing another podcast because we have a press conference where we're going to release more information and we're going to uncover more things and show more corruption and that he's a liar.
Yeah. So we agreed though that we would not do this and talk about the offer,
the contract.
We would talk about other things because we wanted to, but he didn't want us to influence the vote. And for all the teachers that were out there that when we have presented stuff, we did not tell them how to vote. It wasn't a tentative agreement, so we did not endorse it. But we also didn't say, don't vote for it. We didn't have to. People didn't want it.
Yeah. So just legal kind of standard here. If you have a tentative agreement, your members, your bargaining team has to tell your members they want you to vote yes for it. In this case, we had no tentative agreement. We can say whatever we want, although we've been neutral and we haven't said vote no, we haven't said vote yes. But in this case, you don't send a memo out, Mr. Superintendent McCall. We won't do a podcast about the contract.
Yeah.
And we will be neutral when we explain the contract. We won't say don't vote for it, it's a bad deal. Less than 24 hours later, he sends 4 memos, 2 memos, one for the secretaries, one for the service workers, and the offer that he sent. In fairness, because we tell the truth, I got a call from the attorney. You and I were on a Zoom with someone else. I got a call from the attorney while we were on the phone. While we were on the Zoom, I sent it to voicemail because I was engaged in a Zoom call. You on the Zoom call said, oh my God, he just sent a memo out.
And I thought maybe it wasn't that at first, but I saw a text from the bargaining team that said he sent out the deal.
Sent out the deal. The message that I got basically was, oh, Superintendent McCall wants to back out of the deal. He wants to send it out. He wants to send it out to the membership, basically. So he sent 2 memos. So we're going to talk about this and we're going to point out some of the BS in here. And by the way, this is against the law. Against the law. So we're going to be filing 2 more ULPs from this again. And you have it there, Wendy, if you can't see it.
And what's funny about it, and somebody mentioned this in the comments just now, but he endorses it.
He does. He endorses it, which again is
told us to be neutral
against the law.
Yeah.
All right. So let's just go through some of this. I'm sending the attached package proposal. So that's interesting. It's a proposal.
Oh, I like that.
So,
nice.
So he can't go backwards then from a proposal if it's a proposal. See, this is when you shouldn't play with smart people. Attached package proposal to all bargaining unit employees to ensure you have the accurate information.
Is he saying that we did not lie?
That's, I think, what he's saying.
I think he's undermining the union again.
It's projections, right? You project onto others what you're doing yourself.
Yes. I'm going to take a drink of water. And I feel safe doing that because I'm not drinking in Cahokia Heights right now.
Oh, the water issue. That is funny too. Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah, it's awful. It's awful.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I'm just going to leave it there. From the beginning, we have made it clear that we are bargaining your, which one are we looking at? Look, this is, I have it wrong. Do you have both secretaries?
So we have secretaries
Yeah.
on the screen.
Yeah. So you have secretaries and service workers, right? Yep. There you go. Sorry. This is why I like to be prepared. From the beginning, we have made it clear that we are bargaining your secretarial contract separately from the teacher's contract. What does the teachers have to do with this? Because you wanted to bargain two together last night, secretary and service workers. This is language to divide again. It's language to divide.
Well, and the thing is, and we said it to him last night, we said it to his attorney. All of the stuff that happens, they will accept it if it helps them. They will break every rule if it helps them. But let us ask for the exact same thing, and it's a no. They were willing in the secretary's contract to take some positions from, but when we wanted the exact same thing later, no, not for you.
Yeah,
Same
it's not
with
legal.
this.
It's not legal to do that.
It's not legal lecturing us on what's labor law.
So then it goes on to say, last night when we submitted this proposal to the union stated in a sidebar they would accept the board's package proposal to the secretaries if the board would agree to give the same proposal to the teachers. That is, am I reading that right? That is pull all the teachers' proposals and go back to the book. Okay. Pull all the teachers' proposals and go back to the book. And add 4% to each cell on the teacher's salary schedule instead of 4% on the base. The union also said that they needed something on health insurance for all bargaining units. So again, kind of how it happened, but he's making it seem as though we were just trying to get something for the teachers and using the service workers and secretaries. Not the case. We were saying, you offered this to both service workers and secretaries. How about this? Here's a counter to you. We'll do all three, do the same proposal, because it was a proposal.
Yeah.
For all three, 4% across the board on every cell, and you add the health insurance, our numbers on health insurance, and we'll TA that. And they got angry.
Well, and the way that this letter reads to me, it does. It sounds like, oh, they were just trying to get something for the teachers. Actually, we were trying to get something pretty great for everybody. Better than what was on the table for anybody. We were trying to elevate everybody, which is what we do.
Right.
That's what we try to do.
Correct. A letter goes on. The board informed the union that the teacher's contract had nothing to do with the secretarial contract. The union was informed that the district was there to bargain the secretarial contract and was not interested in tying the teachers' bargaining into bargaining the contracts, and reaffirmed its position that teacher's contract is not being bargained with your contract. Again, you made it about two contracts. You made it about these two. You put these two proposals forward yesterday. We didn't do that. We brought the secretaries because we were bargaining for the secretaries.
We followed the outline, the guidelines that Mr. McCall wanted. He deviated from them, but nobody else is allowed to deviate.
Yep. And then he broke his deal, his word. He broke the law again twice. So that's why we're here.
That's why we're here.
The package proposal applies only to employees covered by the secretarial contract. Therefore, only those employees will vote on this financial proposal. However, If the secretarial package proposal is rejected, the district will revert to the previous proposal, which includes language changes to the contract. It is my opinion, that's what Superintendent McCall is saying, that this is a good contract for all secretarial bargaining unit members and provides for the following. Retains language at $600 annually to board paid insurance premiums, 4% increase on base plus step each year for 4 years. So is it also your opinion, Superintendent McCall, that it's okay for you to pay Arnett Harvey $1 million, but you give secretarial members an offer of 4% on the base? And that's what you think is a good deal? I guess you would think it's a good deal, because guess what? This deal saves you money. It saves you money to use that money to do what you're going to do with the money, what you've been doing with the money in Cahokia.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go through the same letter. The same letter he sent to the service workers, the same memo, same exact.
Can I bring up one thing about it though?
Yeah, go ahead.
He does say the union was informed that the district was there to bargain the service workers contract. We really weren't there to bargain the service workers contract. I know that it says that. I know that they wanted to adjust and do that, but that's not really why we were there. We were there for this. It was the secretary's turn, and they're supposed to get 3.
So I guess we were told when they handed us the proposal. I guess that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
So look, here's the deal. We never believed this was a good deal for our members. It's not a good deal for the membership. Not until we know financial information about Arnett Harvey. Not until we know financial information about Minnie Taylor. Not until we know who approved Minnie Taylor's payments. Stephanie Belt, we know she did, because that's her stamp right there. We know she did. She did it. Until we know that information, it's our opinion that we can't agree to anything, because we need to know what we're dealing with. So we're not taking this to a vote. We were going to. We made a deal to do it, but you broke the deal. So now we're going to give you a counter. We're going to give you a counter that our members deserve, that our members actually deserve. And we're still going to wait for the answers. We're going to wait for the answers that you owe every member, that you owe the community members at Cahokia, why their money is being mismanaged. That's what we're going to do. So you think you can bully people? You think you can make people take this by sending out memos and by having your little guard dogs go out and talk to people one-on-one about what they should do and what they shouldn't do, and I'll take care of you? It doesn't work. It's not working anymore. You have no power anymore. She's taken that power from you.
The union has.
You're the leader of the union. Yeah, the union has, but they're behind you.
So what we've asked for all along was fairness. He doesn't know how to play fair. He refuses to play fair. He doesn't give information. He favors those close to him. We've shown episode after episode after episode the truth about Curtis McCall Jr., about Stephanie Belt, about Arnett Harvey, and everyone knows it now. I mean, there's no place to hide. The truth is coming out. The children in the schools deserve better than this. The community deserves better than this. There has to be transparency. There has to be change. Change is coming. And I'm very proud of us for how we have tried to work together as a team to do the right thing. You know, the more and more stories that come out, you know, I mentioned the water thing earlier. I live in a town where we have a similar, it's not the same problem, but it's a similar problem. And to not be able to trust basic services, it's bad. To not be able to have faith in your school system and to know that money is being spent in a way that's benefiting the whole community, it's not fair. The people of Cahokia deserve so much more than this. The staff deserves so much more than this.
Yeah, I mean, you would think, you touched on it earlier, you would think, I work with 17 different superintendents. I guarantee you, every one of those other superintendents would be doing whatever they could to put certified teachers in classrooms to retain and keep and attract new teachers and staff. This superintendent, he's a joke. I mean, I don't know how else to say it.
He has held us hostage all this time, saying that he wants these things out of our contracts that I don't even think they mean anything to him, to be honest. It's about power.
Yep.
At the expense, though, of progress. So progress would be schools where kids are excited to come to school, where there's innovative teachers in every classroom that put down roots, that stay there, that want to work there because it's a great place to be, where everybody is positive and happy to come to work. That's where it's healthy, where it's,
Right.
a positive place. You don't get that by doing what he does. You just don't. Somehow he's prioritized Stephanie Belt's mom. He has prioritized Arnett Harvey to the tune of hundreds of thousands of,
Right. Almost $1 million.
almost $1 million.
Just under a hair under $1 million that we know of, and I guarantee there's more.
Yeah. And he thinks that we will just take any little scrap. We're tired of playing in scraps. I don't want to give. I'm tired of giving. I don't want to give anymore. I give every day to my students. They're who I want to give to.
Yeah.
There's nothing that he's asking for, in my opinion, that makes things like dramatically better for students. It allows him to continue spending the way that he has, which is reckless.
For sure. One other thing, we've got the press conference coming up on Wednesday that we're going to do. So members, we want you here. Community members, we want you here. In the last podcast, if you recall, I made a statement about I'll apologize if something happens, right? And what I basically said is, in the newspaper, the superintendent said that, on record, that Minnie Taylor's issue, someone reported it, and it's been looked at. First, he said by the Illinois Inspector General. Then he said by the Attorney General, and they've deemed it unfounded. He then put that in a memo that it was unfounded.
Yes, he did.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So we FOIA'd that information from him, and I got a response back that says, the Illinois Attorney General said that I can't release that information to you, that it's confidential.
Right. I remember.
So then we FOIA'd the Illinois Attorney General for the information, right?
Right.
And we hadn't got it back yet. And I said on air live before we got it back that if I get information back that it's unfounded, I will apologize to him live on air. Have I apologized yet?
There's been no apology.
Interesting. So watch our press conference Wednesday, because there might be a letter from the Attorney General. And I'm not apologizing.
Well, I'm glad that we did this. I'm disappointed that we have to keep doing this. This is the third pop-up that we've had to do because of direct dealing.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't successful before. If anything, it continues to chip away at his credibility with people. But here we are.
Absolutely. So that just show I'm going to try and make a little portion of my kid's first lacrosse game of his senior year. So I'm going to get out of here. Do you want to do quick parting thoughts? I mean, I know we didn't prepare anything. It's on the fly.
I am just really proud to serve with Stephanie Spizak and with Bam Demetrius Hurd and every member of the bargaining team. But this is not easy to do this, right? You're making decisions when you're on a bargaining team that you want to try to benefit everybody, and you have a responsibility, and they are both such good people, and I'm just proud to serve with them all these years. They're excellent. So my parting thoughts are just like kind of a shout out to the other two presidents on the council.
Yeah, I'm going to echo that too. That service workers and Ontario bargaining unit members, you need to follow your leaders. You need to follow Bam. You need to follow Stephanie. They are not going to steer you wrong. They have been in this from day one. They are together with us as part of a team. We're all a team. We're one team. We're one big unit, brothers and sisters together. Doesn't matter what your title is, what contract you're in. We are one group. I just want to say thanks to Bam and Stephanie. We've become.
It's a lot of time that
Yeah.
people give to all of this. And again, it's more than just bargaining. When you do those jobs, you take your time to represent members. You go into meetings to talk about, all sorts of issues that come up and answer a lot of questions. And they do it all as volunteers because they care. And these meetings are not always easy. I mean, sometimes we argue amongst ourselves for, the things that we think are right, but I don't know. They're both really good people, and I'm proud to serve with them.
Yeah, and then I guess I'll finish with it's interesting that the board meeting was canceled.
Forgot about that.
Canceled in the afternoon, right before it was supposed to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
But board members were notified in the morning that the meeting was going to be canceled. So did the threat come in the morning and you didn't tell teachers or staff that there was a threat? Or was there no threat and you just canceled? That's my question to you. I know I won't get an answer because I don't get an answer for anything I ask you. But guess what? I'm going to keep asking questions. I'm going to keep holding you accountable. We are going to do that together. And we have 400 members behind us that are going to continue to do that. And you are going to be held accountable. It's a matter of time. It's not if, it's when. And you are going to be held accountable. A matter of time. So with that, Superintendent McCall, we're coming. Buckle up, little junior.